Welcome to Realtor Therapy with Stef and Kel.
We're your hosts, Stephanie Campbell and Kelly Dugan, top producing agents with the Gold Group at Properties Christie's International.
With over $200 million in sales, we've seen it all. The wins, the losses, and the downright insane moments that come with being a realtor.
This podcast is your no BS, unfiltered look into the world of real estate.
Whether you're an agent needing a therapy session or looking to level up your game, we've got real stories, real problems, and real talk.
And hey, if you're a client, stick around. You might just pick up a few trade secrets.
Let's get into it. Hello.
Hi.
Welcome in.
What? Okay.
We have a special guest on
We
today.
have a very special guest, our dear, dear friend and realtor,
I've been
Lauren
trying
Roman.
to get Lauren on for quite some time.
Yes, we have. We've only talked about it 16 times.
It's so funny because I've been dying for an invite to the podcast. Like, when are they going to invite me?
Yeah. Well, here you are.
I wanna be on the
I know, and it
podcast.
was so spur of the moment. We had an office meeting
yeah, it
this
was
morning
spur of the moment.
that Lauren shared such valuable info at that we felt that we okay, we need to do the podcast today because we want the world to hear it.
Yeah, it was super insightful. I feel like the audience was very captivated by your story.
Yes.
It's funny, too, because I thought that I talked really fast and I kept everything high level because I thought I was going to bore everybody.
What?
I was like,
No.
nobody's
Honestly,
going to care about
I was
this.
like, we need.
I think
while
if you
this is-
own your own business, period, not even if you're not even a realtor and listening to this, if you own your own business, this is going to be helpful for you.
Yeah, I 100% agree. First, let's give a little intro to who Lauren is. You know, all the fun stuff about her, why we love her, you know, all those things.
Yeah, Lauren, let's hear it.
You want to tell us who you are?
Okay, so I'm Lauren Roman. I am a realtor with Properties in the same office as Kelly and Steph. And I go to these girls all the time for advice. I'm also a
Venting.
yes, more venting than advice probably. And yeah, we need to have wine and bitch fests on a regular basis.
Where
I
can
love
people
that.
find you? Like, where can people learn about you? And
Instagram is where I do most of my social media posts. Lauren Roman, Lauren_Roman _ realtor.
yeah,
Yeah.
okay, very cool. What's
Well, we're so happy to have you.
What's your favorite thing to eat?
Tacos.
Tacos.
Ooh, tacos.
Yeah,
Okay.
tacos for
Any
sure.
other fun facts that we should share about
Lauren has her own team. Like,
Lauren,
she's
I
kind of
do.
being a little humble sitting here. I'm not going to lie.
Oh, you're sweet. I do. I have my own team. I have 3 girls. I'm licensed in Illinois and Indiana. So
Yeah.
I do. I have 2 girls on my Illinois team, 1 girl on my Indiana team. I'm really involved in my community. I'm an elected official. I am a village trustee
And where at?
in Homewood,
Okay.
and I'm on the PTA.
Wow.
Awesome. Awesome. I loved, like, one of the cutest things was when you were running for office, right?
Yeah.
And that's, what else could we call it?
Yeah.
And what was that for sale signs versus realtors?
Yeah.
The realtor signs versus,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Right. Well,
It was-
initially, so our campaign signs were blue,
Okay.
and my kids came home. Did I ever tell you this?
No.
My kids came home and they were like, "We told all of our friends that you're selling all of the houses that have blue signs in the front yard."
Stop. That is hilarious.
And I was like, "Oh no! If the rumors start flying in Homewood that all of these houses are for sale, it's because my kids started that
Well,
rumor."
and that's what's so funny for, like, a realtor
Yeah.
running for any kind of office. Like, people are already used to seeing your name in a
Yes.
yard.
Right.
So, I mean, anyway, I just thought that
Right.
was cute.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anything else we need to share? I mean,
I think it'll just come organically. Should we
Okay.
start with the tax stuff?
Okay, so this is most of what this podcast is going to be about is tax write-offs and tax strategy,
Right.
in Lauren's words,
Right.
for realtors or really business owners
Right.
in general.
Right.
Which, you know, it being the end of the year, this is like very awesome, useful information. So let's jump right into, how did you start to take this deep dive? Like, where did you go to learn about stuff, and, like, the path that rode you down, like, got you down to?
Because taxes, I feel like as your own business owner, they can feel very overwhelming. Like, I luckily love my tax guy so much. I'm super loyal to him. So that's why I'm going to ask you, like, a lot of questions as to, like, what I should go back and, like, ask him. Because I know that there's things that he does for me that I don't really know because I trust him like that I just
Right.
say, do what you think is best. But I don't I don't really turn my brain on to understand it, and I should.
Right. And then regardless of who they are, what I learned is if at the end of the year they're telling you you owe a lot of money, they're not doing their job. I mean, I guess they're just like the average accountant, right? Which I think there are more average accountants out there. You need to have somebody that is actually looking at it from a strategy standpoint of like, here are the strategies that we can implement so that you don't pay the government all of that money.
Right. Yeah, because my biggest thing, I look at it very simplistically in the sense of, and especially even too, I've ran into it when it comes to helping self-employed business owners when they go to buy a house. And it's happened many times. Like, I'm pretty sure Jen has even done an Instagram reel on it. Like, business owners, beware of how much you write off. Like, obviously it sounds good in theory. The more you write off, the less you owe the government, but that's also the less that it shows that you make income. So that's always kind of the catch-22 for me, is like, I want to obviously save as much money like giving to the government as humanly possible. But on the flip side, I fear that if I do that too much, then you're risking looking like you make nothing on paper, and if you go to buy something, you get denied.
I think it's not only about write-offs, but I think literally being an S corp, right? You kind of decide what your salary is.
Yes.
You
so
do.
like you
a reasonable compensation. Can I also just say that I'm not an accountant?
Yeah. Disclaimer. None of us are.
The legal disclaimer. Consult your accountant, consult your attorney. This is not legal advice. This is not accountant advice. Her manager's waving at us.
Yeah, she's probably like, you better give that disclaimer, you ladies.
Right. I'm not an accountant. I have just been on this journey trying to figure out. You hear all the time they don't pay any money or they don't pay any taxes for all these wealthy people. And I've really been trying to figure out for the longest time how they do that. So I've spent a lot of my own money to pay very smart people in this field to teach me how to do this. And then I'm just sharing what I've learned. But that's my disclaimer. You have to go back and talk to your own accountant about what works best for you.
Mm-hmm. And for your different states, right? Because
right.
I mean, this is probably a lot to do with some of Illinois rules, right?
A lot of it's federal.
Okay.
And then there are some Illinois rules, like when it comes to like paying your kids, you do have to pay a little bit extra because of a specific Illinois rule.
Okay. All right, let's take a little deep dive down like some of the bullet points, like the valuable nuggets that you learned that maybe realtors are not doing that they should.
Right. Realtors, I think, we're notorious for having unorganized taxes. We pay the government too much because we don't want to deal with all of this. One of the biggest takeaways that I learned when I started working with my new accountant, who, if you guys want to go follow her on Instagram, her Instagram handle is Your Tax Coach. So one of the biggest takeaways one of the things that I implemented first was I started paying my spouse.
Which I don't think I do that.
Right. And my first question was, well, he already has a job. He already has a W-2 job. And they said it doesn't matter. He will have to pay taxes on the money that I pay him, but the benefits that come from adding him as an employee outweigh the minimal amount of money that he's going to end up owing in taxes in additional income, because he's now going to have a W-2 from my company as well.
Interesting.
It opens up lots of different things, but the one thing that was very important to us was the ability to implement something called a medical expense reimbursement plan.
Whoa, what?
Yeah.
I missed this part when you were I think I was feeding myself.
Okay. All right. So as any business owner can implement this as like an employee benefit. So I'm offering this to my employees, Dave, as a benefit. Now, you can only do this if you don't have any other employees in your company.
Oh. Like, do you really quick side note, like, does Molly get a W-2 from you?
I don't know how we're going to do it this year. I think I have to give it 1099.
Right. 1099 is a contractor, so it wouldn't
She would
apply.
be an independent contractor, I think. Honestly, I don't know what the heck I should do. I am the queen of personal unorganization. Like, my husband and
Personal? No, I'm just kidding.
It's true. Like, I am, my husband and I, I look at my finger.
Yeah, Stephanie broke her finger.
So for those that are actually
news.
watching, breaking news. Yeah, my finger is broken, and you would have died at the shit show that my husband and I had trying to figure out our insurance when my finger was broken. We found out our network switched. We found there was, and it is a result of Niall and I just anything personal is completely on the back burner, and we just don't worry about it. So we have very little involvement in knowledge of what we should be doing tax wise.
Wait, instead of you hiring a new admin, which we were talking about before, or ever needing another admin, you should hire a house manager.
Oh my God, yes. 100%.
They would just manage all of that for you.
I would die.
I didn't even know that was a profession.
Oh yeah,
I
guess
and
that
there's
makes sense.
there's agencies, just like there's nanny agencies. You can hire a house manager through these agencies,
and they basically just make sure that all your stuff
yeah.
is.
I mean, they'll do everything.
Why
They'll
can't I
come
beg Molly. I'll be like, Molly.
Yeah.
Stephanie wants Molly as just her life assistant.
I have Molly. Poor Molly. She's not even here. She's in Florida actually right now.
I miss her.
Gallivanting. I should be gallivanting with her, but next year I guess. That is the most. My husband would die of happiness.
You need one.
I need one.
They'll come in. They'll do your laundry. They'll do the grocery shopping. They'll do like they will manage your house, which is also the umbrella of your life.
Creeped out about is I want someone to take care of my bills and my all that kind of stuff. I'm so worried about somebody robbing me blind because you'd have to, that's why I think Molly would be the only person I would trust.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, I get that.
Molly, you got another job coming.
Okay, so all right, so back to so you employ your husband.
So the medical reimbursement plan. It's called a medical expense reimbursement plan, and it's also a MERP for short.
Okay.
So it's something as the employer you're offering to your employees, and
now does it have to be your spouse?
No, but someone else asked me this, and that's I think a little bit too much in the weeds that I don't know the answer to.
Okay.
So ask your accountant.
Uh-huh.
But for me, it's my spouse. And so Dave now has the ability to expense all of our medical expenses back to my company.
Oh.
So, and I have a daughter who has special needs.
MERP?
It's called a MERP, Medical Expense Reimbursement Plan.
I'm literally writing this down.
Yeah. So, and it's not just medical, it's not only medical in the sense that you think of medical. It's also, so I have a daughter with special needs. So we drive to Lurie Children's for everything. You can write off the mileage to the doctor. You could write off the parking down there. You can write off gym memberships, your gym membership or your yoga or whatever. All of these things. I think you need to have a doctor's note in order to write all those off. But again, ask your accountant about that. So you can write off IV hydration, supplements, the kids' vitamins, all of these things. So now what happens is
a lot of supplements.
I know, right? So it's this is a way of, these are all things that we would have been spending money on anyway.
Right.
But it's a way of making them now a business expense because now Dave, as my employee, maintains all the receipts. And obviously it's not Dave, it's me doing it for him. Mm-hmm. And then he submits the receipts to Roman Real Estate, and Roman Real Estate writes David Roman a check for all of his expenses. We pay out of pocket for speech therapy. We pay all of these things. You could get a sauna and write it off through a MERP.
This is freaking nuts.
Anything that you have that you can claim as medical, with the help of a doctor's note and things like that, or some things just automatically fall under the MERP, you can submit through this medical expense reimbursement plan. So by employing the husband or spouse, and then that opens up this MERP.
Now, when you say you have to submit the receipts.
Right. A Google form, a Google Drive.
This is what I do for my accountant. I have a Dropbox,
mm-hmm.
and anything that I think that he might need, I throw it in this Dropbox.
Mm-hmm.
So
I'm so bad at collecting receipts.
I
don't really either, but
you could get QuickBooks. QuickBooks has an app, and you could take a picture of it right then and there, and that's as easy as it.
Okay.
I don't do any receipts either, but it's all on your credit card.
Right.
bills.
That's what I go by.
Now, according to my accountant, she says that is not enough if you ever get audited.
If you
need
get
to have
audited,
receipts.
it's not enough. I know
but
that.
I'm not gonna. What are you gonna do?
You
How
never
far
know.
back does the paper
I
trail
feel like
need?
you need to knock on wood.
Yeah.
No. I'm not saying I wouldn't get audited. I'm saying, I am saying they literally expect us to have a physical paper receipt. For
Well,
how many
no,
years?
I mean, I don't know the answer
For
to that.
that year, I would assume. So
Yeah.
I would say you keep like how it should be done that I don't do is you're supposed to keep every single receipt. Like anytime you swipe your credit card from your business account, you need to keep that receipt somewhere. And at the end of the year, if you get audited, you have that receipt.
Right.
After the end of the year, from my knowledge, you can get rid of all your 2025 receipts because you start fresh in 2026. But if you get
Really?
audited,
But you haven't filed your taxes yet. So how would you even know if you're going to get audited?
well, that's what I'm saying is if you don't get audited, you could probably get rid of those
Right.
past receipts and then you're starting fresh.
Now, this is another perhaps dumb question, but let's say the IRS comes and says, I want to audit a year from 5 years ago. You know what I mean? That's why I'm wondering. Like,
Yeah,
I don't know.
How
I don't know.
long are you supposed to keep these papers? I'm sure
We should have a
CPA.
CP.
Yeah,
we should have a
check.
CPA
Yes,
on here.
right?
You know what? My accountant's kind of
I said, I'm not qualified for this conversation.
well, you know what? A follow-up conversation would be good.
Yeah.
Is to have.
And it's to have
Right.
her here.
Do we have 4 mics and headphones, don't we? Or no? Do
We do. I think we do.
Yeah, I think we do too.
I know we have 4 inputs.
It's a write-off if you buy another one.
Yeah.
They're so. Oh God, this is such a good conversation.
Yeah. Okay. So then also, if you have your spouse, you also have opened up the ability to like double add to your 401k.
Wait, what do you mean, huh?
So like the limit for one person to add to your 401k, like if I didn't have a spouse or an employee, I could just contribute to the 401k, whatever the limit is for that year. But now I can add for myself the limit and my spouse up to the limit.
Now, but I guess what I'm wondering, because Niall's a 1099 rep too, and so we each have what we can put.
Do you guys
in.
each have an S corp?
We
Each have an S corp. Okay.
So like, what I'm wondering is does that? I don't know. Like, I'm just.
Oh, you
thinking
started a reasonable compensation is what I think you were saying before too.
Well, that too, but I'm thinking about for our 401ks and all that stuff. Like, we have a max dollar amount. Like, we have a dollar amount that we can put in max for investments to benefit,
right?
like, to max out the tax write-off. I wonder if it would be like, would I be able to triple? Anyway,
I think
you
so.
don't
I think
know,
I
obviously.
actually, I mean, based on my knowledge of what I have learned, I would think you would actually be able to quadruple it.
Yeah, because
Oh,
then
no,
he
no,
has-
no, no, no. Maybe
Oh,
not.
no, 'cause then it would be
maybe
double
not, 'cause
dipping.
it's two different companies.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe not. I don't know the answer.
Well, I wonder if Corey's also 1099. He has his own S corp too. So like, does that have any restrictions if I did want to pay him like how you do, Dave?
No,
He
it
could be-
doesn't
he could
matter.
be whatever.
Yeah,
Okay.
your company can pay him whatever, and like you would obviously only run your medical expense reimbursement plan through one of those companies.
Right.
Whichever company would be less likely to have any other employees.
Now, does Dave carry the insurance for you guys? The health
Yes.
insurance. Okay.
Yes.
And
We both have our own because
you
we're both
have your
self-employed.
own.
Yeah.
Okay.
We have to combine, but like right now I'm with Blue Cross Blue Shield, and it's going up next year to like $550 just for me.
A
And then
month.
he has United, but I could see his plan being the bare minimum because he's a guy and he pays like almost like I think it's like $280 or something for himself. But mine does have dental included, not vision. And I think I just went with them because it was like a safe bet for me. I was on my dad's and then I turned 26 and I went on, my own Blue Cross Blue Shield. But that's another like mind, like,
Oh my God, we need.
I
an
hate
insurance
thinking about
Well,
it.
right.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's actually one of the strategies that I cannot implement. But if you have a high yield, if you have a high deductible insurance plan, it has to be a high deductible insurance plan. You can put money into a health savings account.
Oh my God, this is something I keep meaning to do.
Yeah, you need
Yes.
to. Because again, I don't know enough.
HSA,
An
right?
HSA, and it has a
HSA.
triple tax benefit. Because it
What?
goes in tax-free,
gonna
it
say that a
grows
lot.
tax-free, and then you take it out tax-free.
The FSA, HSA?
HSA.
HSA and FSA are two different things. Like
Okay.
we have an FSA through Dave's union.
Yeah, so does, that when Corey was an iron worker, he still has like $5,000 on like an FSA card.
Right, right.
What is it
That
called?
might expire. You should look.
Oh, I need to because I need new glasses.
This is an HSA.
HSA. Because also I heard in HSA you can like pay for so many like supplements and
Yeah.
like
They-
my
on
like,
Amazon.
my
They literally-
colostrum.
They literally have on Amazon HSA or FSA eligible. Like,
Wow.
Right, but you could do whatever you want, but according to my tax strategist, You put the money in the HSA and you just let it grow. You don't touch it because it has that triple tax benefit. And then you use the MERP to reimburse yourself for the supplements.
What?
And how do we open up this HSA?
You can get them through like Fidelity and all of those things, but I don't know enough about the HSA because I didn't deep dive into that because I don't qualify for one.
Oh, because you don't pay for your own insurance.
Lauren, the fact that you can remember all of this is remarkable.
I mean, I took a lot of notes, but also I'm really interested in it. Like, I think it's fascinating that these are the strategies that people use to not pay the government.
Yeah.
I mean, and then the whole idea is you take this money that you would be paying the IRS and instead you invest it. You either invest it in your 401ks or that's, whatever you want to invest it in, or short-term rentals, long-term rentals, and you're growing your wealth with the money that you would have otherwise given to the government.
Okay, that's so. And this conference that you went to, it was in Arizona.
It was.
And you found out about the conference from this tax girl.
She hosted it.
She hosted it. How many people were there?
200. Yeah.
I mean, honestly, that's smaller than I thought it would be.
Yeah.
For how much you learned. And if you don't mind sharing, was it really expensive?
Tickets, I think, were like $1,500.
Okay. I mean, I guess
ticket.
for
Yeah.
everything that you
for
learned.
look at all you learned. Yeah.
I know.
Wow.
I know.
And that's a write-off.
Right. The whole trip was a write-off. So that's
Kelly and I are going to start traveling the nation.
Right.
Yeah, I know.
And charging $1,500 a month to teach people how to be realtors.
Right. There you go.
Coming soon, 2027.
Yeah,
I love it.
Honestly.
But that's also part of it too, is if once you add your spouse as an employee, you can travel and it's all a write-off. You have to structure your trip properly. Like that, my tax strategist, Barbara, she's very big on compliance and documentation and making sure that everything's done the right way. So you have to plan your trip properly. But once they're an employee and you plan your trip properly, your whole trip is a write-off. Because you have to work. You have to plan work into the trip.
Right.
But you can, there's a way that you could structure that where you still get to enjoy yourself and it's still a tax write-off.
So we covered the MERP. Mm-hmm. What would be a good next segue? Like paying the kids?
Kids.
Okay.
Yeah. So that was another really eye-open. Oh, sorry.
No, you're okay.
That was another really eye-opening strategy. And that was, so I feel like everybody talks about paying their kids. Like I feel like I've known about that forever. Right.
Yeah.
Like you
I'm
pay
so
your
sorry, I
kids.
got to get that call. You guys keep going.
Okay.
I don't have kids, so honestly, this wouldn't really appeal anyway.
Okay.
Fine.
Okay.
See ya.
So you pay the kids through your business, and then those kids, like, so I have 3 kids, so I pay my kids, and there's a lot of compliance that needs to happen on the back end. You have to have your accountant set it up properly, but then I'm paying my kids, and the money's going into their accounts. And now
did they each need a banking account? Did you have to set that up?
Yes. And prior to this accountant, I was paying my kids, but I was paying them and putting the money into a savings account or into an investment account, like a UGMA, like basically an investment account for the kids.
And this is a total side note question when I'm thinking of it. Do you do that thing where like you have an account set up for them to pay for college?
A 529.
Yes.
I did not have one for the longest. Well, I set one up for Emmy when she was a baby.
Yeah.
And then I really never invested in it. However, just within the last year or so, they changed the rules for the 529. So now you can pay for private school. And that is something that we've considered, moving the kids from public to private.
Oh.
So we might start investing in the 529.
Because is there, you might not even know, but is there a tax benefit to the 529?
Oh, yeah, there is.
Okay,
yeah.
that's what I thought.
But
okay.
I will say not only my accountant, but other accountants put it like low priority
Okay.
in line with all of the others. Like if you're still looking for a strategy, here's the 529 plan.
Okay.
But okay, so then before I had this accountant, I had the savings accounts set up for the kids. Mm-hmm. Now I switched them to checking accounts so that they got debit cards, because now their everyday expenses are being paid from their own accounts. So like
The only thing I could think of, like the negative is right, like you're losing some points, right?
yes, And I was like, can I get credit card? That's so funny. That's exactly what I said. I was like, I'm going to need a Southwest credit card for each one of my kids.
So funny because that's
right.
They're like big Southwest credit card
Same.
people.
Die hard. But I mean, I guess you could. I a long time ago added my kids to my Southwest credit card as authorized users to like grow their credit scores.
Okay.
But it cannot be your credit card. It would have to be there. I know you probably can't get a credit card in their own name at their age. So no. So it has to be a debit card.
Okay.
So yes, you're right. You're losing points because I'm thinking like everyday expenses that you pay for your kids. So for example, so now I pay my kids, they have to actually have a job and you have to account for the hours that they're working and what they were doing and all the things. Again, compliance. So my kids do a lot of marketing, advertising for me on social media, but then they also stuff envelopes. They put stamps on envelopes. They help in all sorts of other ways, like help me organize my office, things like that. So
and you're kind of documenting them do this.
All of it.
And do you have to like, let's say you take a picture of them stuffing envelopes, like you just keep it for yourself, but you don't post it on social.
Right.
Is that acceptable?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Every once in a while, I will post it on social, like my little worker bees or whatever.
Yeah.
Okay. So then you're paying them. So let's just use Sophia as an example. Sophia helps me stuff envelopes. I pay her for her hourly rate. Whatever that ends up being, like, obviously the hourly rate for modeling and advertising is higher than what it would be for stuffing envelopes. And then that money is now sitting in Sophia's checking account, and Sophia now pays for her gymnastics through her checking account.
Yeah.
So it has now made it so that Sophia's gymnastics is not something that I'm paying for. Like it's not a write-off. That's not the right way to say it, but Sophia's payroll is a write-off.
Okay.
And then her gymnastics is getting paid from her account. Something that I would have already been paying for is now getting filtered through her account.
And the benefit to, okay, and like, again, this is so high level, and I don't, some of this might be accountant questions, but I'm trying to wrap my brain around, okay, so I put my kids on payroll. I'm paying them all. I'm documenting them working. Why do I have to have them pay for things out of their account? What's the
don't.
What's the benefit, I guess?
Because it makes that
an expense for their company?
I mean, it makes it so that you're not paying taxes on that money. If that was money that I was taking, like, think about it this way. If Roman Real Estate Corp was paying Lauren Roman and it was just going into Lauren Roman's account, and then I was paying for gymnastics, I would have to pay taxes on that money that went into my account, and then I'm paying gymnastics for it. It's money that I'm not paying taxes on because it's up to $15,000 per child is going into their accounts, which I don't pay them that much. But so then it's tax-free money that you're paying for your children's everyday expenses, like school supplies, shoes for school. The girls got their ears pierced. I paid for their ear piercing through their own debit cards. Like,
because it's instead of just leaving that money in their account,
you're paying for their everyday expenses.
Because again, I'm trying to think of the benefit of them paying it and not me paying it.
Right. It's tax-free if they pay it.
Okay. That's so interesting.
Yeah.
Again, my God.
Right.
My kids have helped me with like the silliest things just to keep them busy.
Right.
You know?
Right.
Like,
right.
Okay. Very interesting.
I know. And it's also teaching them about money. Like they know that they have their, it's teaching them about money. So they know that they have their accounts and they'll say, like, how much money do I have in my account? Can I buy this? Like, I want another toy. And I'll say, okay, well, you have to earn it,
Yeah. Yeah. I cannot wait to bring, and this is the thing that when Lauren, Kelly, and I were chatting, we're like, the biggest takeaway that we want like realtors or business owners listening to think about is these conversations that we're having, jot little notes down, because these are questions that you guys should be going back to your accountant with. Right? Like, that's what I'm doing. I'm just making quick little bullet points. So when I talk to my accountant later, I could be like, hey, can we implement some of this stuff? What are your thoughts on this, that, and the other?
Right. And if they tell you no, you need a new accountant.
Yeah.
That happened to me. When I first started learning about this a couple of years ago, I went back to my accountant and I said, I want to implement this, this, and this. And they're like, oh, I don't know. And I was like, okay, then I'm going to get
just sheer laziness.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
And do you think that an accountant would charge more to do some of this stuff?
If you have a tax strategist, which is what I have, that teaches me all of this and then implements all of this, then yes, you have to pay them for that additional service.
Okay. Because I'm wondering, like, some of these things that I'm bringing up, what my accountant's going to say, like, cost-wise.
Yeah, I don't know.
Obviously you wouldn't know, but it's just kind of interesting to know, to think about. What else?
Unless you're implementing it all yourself on the back end, and then you're just saying, here's how I want you to file my taxes. But true. I think you would have to have a lot more knowledge of all of this.
Yeah, no, and again, some of this comes down to time. Cover too, while we're on kids, the vacation thing you were talking about. Right.
So if they're also employees, so your spouse and your kids, as long as they're all employees, you can travel, and then it's a write-off. As long as there's a certain percentage of the days that have to be work-related. But your travel days count as work days. So then, like I used the example of going to Disney and my kids, who I pay for advertising and marketing. If we go to Disney and like travel day number 1, work day, second day or first real day that we're there, that's fun day. We get to do whatever we want. Third day, we do a photo shoot at Disney for branding and marketing content for social media, and that counts as a work day. And then let's say Thursday, we go to dinner and we talk about the fact that, like, at dinner, you're talking about the fact that they're employed, the benefits of them being employed, like an education. A lot of this has been education for my kids. And then your last day, you travel home. So like you have now structured your trip to make it a tax write-off, and you took your kids to Disney.
Wow.
And made it all a business write-off for your company.
Okay, that's so interesting.
But they all have to be employees, and you have to structure it properly and keep documentation and have the photo shoot, have the conversations at your business dinner, and make it legit.
Okay, very cool. What else were some of the nuggets?
If they are if they are on the payroll too, you can do a dependent care FSA, which I think the limit is $5,000, and that can pay for like summer camps or daycare and all that kind of stuff.
Dependent FSA?
DCFSA, dependent care FSA.
Okay.
So you would do that like I'm going to start.
Another note I'm writing down, guys.
Right. And that will be for
like
summer camp.
Childcare, like what?
Right. I mean, it's certainly not going to pay for a nanny or anything like that. The limit won't. But it's a way that you could pay for summer camp and stuff like that.
That's awesome.
And then when the kids are employees, you can also offer this. It's like I'm blanking on the name of it. It's probably in here somewhere. It's like a gift.
Oh, I've heard that.
Like an incentive, a quarterly gift incentive, like it's for performance for the employees. Bonus. Yes. But it has to be an actual gift. It can't be cash or a gift card. So, for example, Emmy earned her employee bonus, and it was a new bike. So she got her new bike paid for.
Wow.
Through the employee incentive.
This is wild.
Yeah, because she's a good little employee. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. And
so then really quick, wait, are we still?
I think that's the last thing I had about kids, but yeah.
Because I just, in simplistic terms, to kind of bring it back to my initial topic in general. So what if somebody says to you, like, okay, you're writing off all of these things in a legal manner with your receipts, Emmy's bike, all these things. So naturally that is going to up your expenses, which in turn makes your income look lower.
Right.
So when you go to buy something and the lender's like, why is your income showing that you didn't make anything? You wrote everything off. Like, how do you maneuver buying investment properties? How do you maneuver buying anything, if anything that requires your tax, your tax documents? Right. How do you go about that?
Right. Okay. So at this conference, the first part of the conference was how do we save all this money in taxes? And then the second part was, now what do we do with it? How do we use the savings to build wealth? And part of the conference, I met a mortgage broker who specifically works on these portfolio loans.
So interesting.
So he basically just works with like self-employed S corp 1099 people who probably don't show as much as they should on paper to your normal Joe Schmo lender.
Right. He might also work with W-2 people. I never asked that question.
Okay.
But he does work a lot with my accountant, the firm that I hired, their clients. Okay. And what he said was, what they do through their portfolio loans, they get a letter from your accountant, and the accountant writes this letter that basically says, yes, here's their taxes, and you can add back in this line item, this line item, this line item, and so now you account for X in income. And then they use that, the lender
so the accountant,
accepts that.
After your taxes have been filed and everything, and then, because you have to usually provide 2 past years of your tax returns. So after those have been filed, and the accountant can go back and say, oh, no, actually, this can be switched.
She's not saying that to the IRS.
No,
she's saying that to the lender.
I didn't even know that was allowed.
Right. So to the lender, she's just saying like, this is actually business expenses. And there's verbiage that she puts in that letter that makes it all legit. And it says, now this can all be accounted for as income. And then this lender, they have these portfolio loans where they can qualify you off of that. He did say you're going to pay about 1% more on these type of loans. So like if we all start writing off all of our income and then we want to go buy, this is like for your primary residence, you want to go buy a new house, then let's just say the average buyer is getting quoted 6.2% right now. You're going to get quoted 7.2 for this portfolio loan.
And that makes it worth it when you think of how much you're saving.
Right. He said you're probably going to spend about $200 more a month in interest, but you had $150,000 less of income on your income taxes. So it's worth it for you to pay $2,400 more a year in interest to be able to write off all this stuff.
And I think it's so interesting, too, that maybe we should tell the audience at home that you also are in the process of buying an investment property.
Right.
And like why now? Was it right after you went to this? That tell me your thought process and all this with the investment property.
Right. I met the right lender that could help me get it done. She is a lender.
Well, what kept you from doing it before?
I guess not only finding the right property, but financing it the right way. Like I always thought if I wanted to finance it, I would want cash, or I would have to do like a conventional loan, like an investor loan, and put 25% down, but then still have to have the cash to
renovate.
Fix
you always
it.
want to use as little of your own money as possible.
Right.
When I bought ours, I luckily was a first-time home buyer because Corey bought our house. So I got to use the first-time home buyer as 3% down.
Nice.
But I couldn't rent it out for a year because of that.
Right.
So
so the first lender that I was just telling you about, that was a guy. I can share all their contact info. And then the investment lender is a woman who works only on investment loans, and she is big with the BRRRR method: buy, rehab, refinance, rent, repeat.
That is like my brother and sister-in-law.
Yeah.
That was like, when I got into the business, remember, I literally, like, the reason I got into real estate was for investing purposes. I had no idea that I would fall into Stephanie's lap and be like the agent I am today.
Yeah.
But I was really, really big into Bigger Pockets podcast and all the BRRRR methods. And that was my plan going into when we bought the Manhattan house. But then as a realtor now, I just keep seeing how things keep going up and how I have like a no sell policy. Like I want to buy all these things and never sell them.
Dude, that's that's why I'm so torn about my freaking primary residence.
I know.
But like this is the pickle I'm in, right?
See, but there's certain situations, like I don't think your primary is a good rental. I think it's a good max out and profit and walk away with the proceeds.
I know, and I think the only reason, like Niall and I have gone back and forth because I'm like, God, do I need to keep this house for my children one day? Like I'm just in fear of how much things are going to cost. But on the flip side of it, my house right now is at the peak. Like I don't have to remodel anything.
Right.
You know what I mean? And if
in 10 years you would.
In 10 years, I will have to remodel stuff.
And renters are going to destroy it.
Renters will trash it. So like it's just the thought of the expense it's going to cost me later on to rehab it versus
that monthly cash flow. Yeah.
I would say at that price point, I wouldn't see the benefit in renting your current house and the emotional connection to it.
I'm glad you guys agree.
Yeah.
No.
Like if you had a
first time home.
I would say I actually tell people on a regular basis, I'm like, don't sell that.
Yeah. Same.
Yeah.
Same.
I'm like, keep that. Put a renter in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
But at your price point and how nice your house is and your emotional connection to it, I would sell it.
Okay. I'll just drive past it and cry every.
Yeah. Knock on the door.
Stephanie's gonna be.
Hi, can I come in? I just want to see what
Stephanie's
you've done.
Gonna be the worst when her house
Kelly's
goes on the
gonna sell
market.
my house. It's gonna
Oh
be
my
fine.
god. Yeah. I'm 7% commission.
You better turn that up to 10.
Yeah. Honestly, dealing with you that might be. God.
Oh my god. Okay, so this is
Yeah,
so
like I
interesting.
honestly don't think I could. Like I would, out of true good faith, like if you truly were like going into this like to sell your house and you were going to be present for showings, I'd be like, Stephanie, like I need to show your house. Like you can't. I just feel like you would be like.
I have thought about this. If I did show
On
it,
another
what I
level.
would do is like greet people at the door so I could creepishly know who the fuck they are. Excuse my French.
I didn't know we could swear.
Oh yeah,
Right?
we're
I mean-
rogue.
Yeah.
Nobody
Yeah.
said we can't. I don't know. We might have to mark that little like what's that language thing on the podcast?
I don't think there's
Explicit language.
anyone that's under 18 that's tuning into Realtor Therapy. I'll tell you that much.
But also I did because this has happened before where I've met agents at listings and they greet you and then they go outside.
Yeah.
So like I could stand outside.
She's like peeking her head in every 5 minutes. Oh, and right there, this is what. And then look right there behind the door, and
Right.
she'd be like knocking on the window when they come into the room. Like, did you see that?
That's me. That is
Why do you have to
100%
be there at all? Why can't you just put a lockbox on
It would kill her. Oh no, it would
Oh, 'cause
literally
you said
kill
you-
her. You
oh.
should have seen her when she sold her neighbor's house. You would have thought
Oh,
that
I
she
know.
built that with her hands, like literally just her with her hands. You would have thought.
I mean, none of this is surprising me.
I know. Sorry. But I want to get back to it too because I feel like there's so many people that sit on the sidelines scared to buy investment properties.
Yeah.
I want to know,
Okay.
besides the financing portion, what gave you the confidence to decide, okay, I'm going to buy this and why this house? What made you decide to purchase this house?
No, I think it actually was the financing that gave me the confidence to buy
okay.
it because with this plan that her name is Paige and she works solely with investors. So it's a hard money loan. It's actually called a fix and flip. But on closing day, I have to bring $23,000 to closing. And then I have
How much is the house? That might give people
$125,000.
Okay.
So, and that's part of why this house, because I was able to get a good price on it and I like the location.
Okay.
So
How did you find the house?
it's on the MLS and it's,
Does everybody hear that?
It's on the MLS.
yeah.
There's actually one right now that's kind of by me that I asked Corey
Fine.
yesterday. I said, should we go and see this? Yeah.
Yeah. Dave and I go to see them all the time.
Because I showed it and it was a super cheap price. I remember seeing it. I'm like, oh, this is going to fly. And then it didn't. And I'm like, okay. So I showed it to a client and it scared them. They were a first time home buyer. But I was like, this isn't that scary. There definitely had some things for sure. But the location was incredible. The size was good. Like it was workable, but it needed like love. Like
Yeah.
it would have to be something. So we might go and see it because I'm like,
Okay.
maybe
Yeah,
I
no,
could
this
use.
one-
Maybe I could use your little.
you should.
Yeah,
You should. Okay.
yeah.
Because then listen. So you give her, not her, but at closing,
And the reason this is relevant, we should tie in, is like because there's tax benefits to investment properties.
for sure, especially as realtors, because you can file as like a real estate professional since we have real estate licenses.
Oh my god! And am I even doing that? I don't know. See that, guys? I have like
If you have the investment properties, that's only relevant.
So what
you have
if
the
I
investment
have an
properties.
investment property, but it's like it's still in my personal name?
Yeah, you're fine.
I'm
You
fine.
should transfer it to an LLC just to protect you.
I know we know them, so I haven't. That's why my lack of motivation for that is so low. But that's always kind of what makes me. I guess, pause before I'm going forward with all these investment things for my investment property, because like I'm like, it is still in my name. It's not in the LLC yet, but I could still get this tax.
Yeah. Okay. Wait.
And I very
Two
well
things
might.
to that.
Like my CPA knows I have an investment property. Maybe he does do this already. I have no idea.
Okay. You could file as a real estate professional for however many investment properties that you have. Put your rental in an LLC, because it's not just we trust them. It's an asset under your name that if anything, like you could
They
crash
can go
the
after-
car,
yes,
and
right.
that's an asset that's in your name.
Right.
Like you want to protect your assets. And then
And they say do a different LLC for each
every property.
because then
Oh,
like
God,
if you have
see?
someone that like trips and falls on your property and they want to sue you, they can only go after that LLC.
Right.
Whereas if you had 10 properties under one LLC and someone trips and falls in one of them, they can go after all 10 of those.
Right.
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 Yeah. I knew that.
Technically.
But that's again like I know all these things that I should do that I
Right.
just haven't yet.
Well, this is why, like, so, and part of this whole conference also was I met with a trust and estate planning attorney,
Oh my
and
God, I
I
need to do
actually,
that.
she's amazing, and she's right here in
What?
Chicago. She was all the way out in Scottsdale, and that's where we met. And she's an Illinois attorney that does trust and estate and real estate right here in Chicago. I'll send you her contact
Oh
info
my
too.
Yeah.
God. Okay, I need a
Contact
good.
her.
So
Is she stronger in estate planning or stronger in real
I
estate?
think both. I think she does equal.
Let's shout her out. What's her name?
Melissa Tannehill.
Melissa Tannehill.
Yeah, and like the
Okay.
second I sat down with her at the table, I was like, "Oh, I love you. You're gonna be my girl."
How old is she?
Younger than me.
Stop.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure, like a couple years younger than me.
Okay. And so what? So
What?
I think so. Yeah.
Okay.
So when it comes
And she's a real
to-
estate attorney,
need
so I
estate
want to work with her
planning.
too. So I'm not sure why I said that, but
I wouldn't even know where to begin. Like when
I know you need her. So then she's gonna put all the houses in the right LLCs and all the trusts
So
and all
she
the.
does the LLCs.
She
she'll
can.
create an
Yes.
LLC.
Jason
Yes.
did mine, so
Yeah.
I know that
Yeah,
it's
Jason
like
did
Yeah,
mine
she
too.
could do all of that. Yeah.
But I don't think Jason's not like excited to do estate planning. Like I don't
No.
think he's like that's my jam.
No.
Right.
Oh,
No,
right.
she knew the ins and outs of every single thing, like even setting up a special needs trust for Emmy, like all of it.
Oh my God, because I really need an estate. Where she live? Does she live in Chicago?
South Loop. Yeah.
Okay, what's up?
Yeah. Yeah.
My
That was like
my-
the first.
my
I was
old
like, sorry, I'm a
stomping ground.
creepy realtor. Like the first thing you ask people when you meet them is
always ask.
first thing I ask, where do you live? And then I'm always like, I'm a realtor. That's why
Lauren,
I asked that.
I know. I'm
Yeah.
equally creepy.
Like,
I
how much
ask-
did you pay for your house?
I ask
That is so funny.
every human I meet. I'm
Yeah.
like, where do you live?
It's the first thing I
I'm
ask.
trying to think. I don't feel. I
Oh,
mean, I feel like
God.
I do, but I don't go out of my way to like make it a. Like I'm gonna ask where they live. Like I feel like
Oh,
it might
no,
just
I
come
I
up
just think
naturally.
I think it just does come up naturally, but it's
comes
the first
naturally
thing.
just because I'm that nosy.
Yeah,
Right.
same.
That curious.
Yeah.
I tell everybody that's actually why I went into real estate. Like
Oh.
I'm so nosy because I want to like open your cabinets and I want
Yeah.
to like walk in.
See, I feel like that faded for me after a little bit. Like when like everyone's
Yeah.
like, "Don't you love going to seeing houses?" I'm like,
Only if
"Not
you're gonna buy
anymore."
it.
Yeah, right. I'm like, I mean,
Right.
Like I just remember like right in the beginning where I'd be like so excited for a full day of showings, and like I'd be the one like, "Oh my God, look at this!" And now I'm like, okay, if my clients aren't interested, let's hit
Right.
the road.
I know, and it's so funny. Again, we're getting off topic, but it's so funny. Like new agents, like explaining to them what to do on a showing.
I'll never forget when you thought you could send me into the wild alone on my first showing, and I ended up. You were like, "Okay, fine, I'll go with you." I literally remember my first showing. It was a girl that I used to work with at the salon, and I had no idea what I was doing. You showed me how to schedule it, and I'm like, okay, so I just literally bring them and like just show. You're like, yeah, open the lockbox, and you were just so like willy nilly about it, and I think maybe you could like sense that I was nervous. You're like, I'll go with you, and I was so happy that you did because the owner happened to be there. You don't remember this at all? It was
No.
it was
I have, like,
in
Alzheimer's, I
it was
think.
in Tinley, and you like asked all like, oh, how long have you lived here? Like all the questions that like now I would ask today, but like I know that if I would have went there without you, I would have thought it was against the law to talk to the owner, and I would have been so uncomfortable. The client would have looked at me like, what do we do? The owner's here, and I'd be like, I don't know, I've never done this before, but like I'm so happy that you went with me, and I'll never forget it. That was my first showing.
Okay, well, shoot. Her saying that, I bet we better go with on the first tour
For new agents.
with any new
Oh
agents.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Or have them at least come and shadow
look at this-
you.
I mean,
look
I
at
don't-
this trustworthy face.
I don't know if I did,
I trust you're just
actually.
going to the wild, apparently.
But no,
I love that.
and
Just
even
like
having-
open the lockbox. Okay, but how do I do that?
Yeah, and even like having, like I shadowed you a couple times. Like I remember I went to a couple of your listing appointments. Like that always helped. I sat in on your buyers meetings, but I don't think I ever went on showings with you.
No, I don't remember that.
No.
Oh wait.
What?
Did you go into the city with me once?
Yes, but I think they were like listing appointments.
No, I think you went to a buyer, like one of my really good friends. I remember it was like off the expressway. I mean, if it wasn't you, it was somebody else. I had somebody with me on buyer showings.
Yeah, I don't think it was me.
But even then, the city is so.
I know.
Yeah.
But okay, back to taxes.
Okay, yeah. Wait. We were talking about the investment property because you're buying it and rehabbing it without your own money, technically. I mean, you have to have the money up front. Okay, so you have to have the money up front. And
that's the
What do you mean?
23,000.
right.
The
So you have to have the 23,000.
Is that considered
as
your
the
down payment?
Yeah,
Okay.
closing costs, everything, because there's a bunch of fees associated with this type of loan. But the way I looked at it was, and it's a higher interest rate and all of that, but once I explain the whole thing, you'll realize why I think it's a good plan. So you have the 23,000 up front, and then you're paying about $900 a month for the 6 months that you're rehabbing the property. That's interest only payment. But then there's also a component of the loan where you can pull draws. So
it's almost a line. It's an open line of credit.
Right, through the same loan.
Okay.
So, and maybe the more I do them, the better I'll get at explaining this. But
And now, do you max it out at? Is there like a?
there's a limit. So she put 60,000 on this one.
Okay.
So, and then if I do pull draws, that $900 that I was going to pay a month is going to go up,
Right,
Because
with
I'm
every
paying
draw.
interest on the whole little note over here. So if I'm like, all of a sudden I need to pull 20,000 for whatever, then I'm now paying more a month in interest. But then at the end, you refinance it into a conventional loan or a portfolio loan, like whatever we decide to do at the end. And then the value of the home has gone up so much that I'm pulling equity back out. And she said, I'll walk away with about $20,000.
So, it's
So
almost like
on
you're getting
closing
that back.
day, right. So on closing day to buy it, I'm bringing 23. And then let's just say a couple thousand, like, let's just say I'm all in 30. And then, no, you're okay.
Unlock it for me. I got a text now.
So 30, so you're all in, let's just say 30 with, if your interest payments get higher, but then you're walking away with 20. So you now have an investment property where a tenant, a long-term tenant, is going to go into that property and pay down the mortgage, and all out of pocket for you, you only spent $10,000 to do it.
My only, I guess, hesitation from like an investment standpoint is when you go to convert that into a traditional loan and it's now going to be valued at the price that it would be valued at after you made renovations. So the value is going to go up, right?
Mm-hmm.
So how, like, my biggest thing is like cash flow when I'm looking at investment properties. What is going to be like my monthly versus
Right.
what I'm going to be getting in rental. So the
Right.
only thing that would scare me is that I don't know what that monthly is going to be until I refinance it, right? Because you're buying it for
No,
$125.
she ran the numbers. And I gave her
Okay.
a conservative number that I thought the value would be.
Okay.
Like, because this is in Homewood. This property's in Homewood. And I sell a lot of houses
Right.
in Homewood.
Okay.
I can rattle off comps. Like, I have them memorized.
Right.
So when I'm thinking about the value, I told her 275, but that was a very conservative number.
Okay.
So when she ran the numbers, like when I'm pulling out that money at the end of it, I'm still probably not even close to the true value of what I could turn around and sell the house for.
Got it. Okay.
Like, I have gone back and forth about whether or not this is a good flip, like, and just sell it.
Yeah.
Because the numbers really work really well for that too. But I do want a long-term rental.
Yeah.
Because then you can use cost segregation, which is the other tax strategy. You use cost segregation to write off the depreciation of the entire investment in the first year that it is. Like, even if I close on it in December of 2025, it's not a tax strategy for 2025. It needs to be when the unit is going like into use
Into the
in
rental.
2026.
Okay. All right. A lot to unpack here.
This is so much. Like, it's so good. I almost am like, what are we at? 56 minutes, you guys.
Wow.
I know. It's going to be a good one, but you know what? Some of our longer podcasts are actually some of the more popular ones, which is interessante.
Yeah. Us realtors, we like to listen to podcasts while we're driving around in the car.
We sure do. What else should we cover as far as like some of the, like the Augusta rule?
Oh, yeah.
That's really great. And then also the thing that you mentioned about, because like I do have open house, I have signs and crap stored in my garage.
Right. Your garage is now a storage unit, and you should be writing it off as a storage unit. If you have your open house signs, your lock boxes, like I actually started putting, you know, those shoe covers that we have? Yeah. I have them in a bin in my garage now with my open houses. Like, make it legit, though. If you're going to write it off, make it legit.
But, like, do I take a picture of it in my garage?
I guess only if it's asked for it, if it comes down to it.
I mean, if you get audited, they're going to come over to your house and they're going to see it.
Okay.
Right? That's the way I looked at it. Mm-hmm. Like, I think you need to be more intentional about documenting things that are, like, in present time. But, like, I don't have to worry about taking a picture of my office at my house, because my office at my house is always going to be my office at my house. Right. The auditor can show up and see that it's strictly an office.
Yeah.
One accountant told me one time I had my Peloton in my office, and they told me to move it. Not the girl that I'm working with now, but a previous accountant. She said, because it has to be a true office if you want to write it off as an office. So having a Peloton in there makes it not a true office.
Okay, interesting. Now talk about the Augusta rule.
Okay, so that's something that just everybody should be using, and that's where your company is renting your house for up to 14 days a year for, like I use the example, my team meets at my dining room table. Mm-hmm. So, you can look at my social media. I have plenty of videos on my social media of me making cocktails in my kitchen. I used my kitchen to film the reel, so then my house is being rented from my company.
Oh my God, that's a genius.
Right. So that's up to 14.
If there's anything we'd be doing with the podcast. I'm sure there is.
Oh my God, I'm sure. You're building us a podcast room in your new house.
Right.
Yeah.
So you're going to have your garage?
I wonder
if
your
office?
I wonder if the podcast.
I was just going to ask you, but you don't have income.
That is one of the columns on my
a shit ton of expenses.
On my expenses, I have a column for podcasts that I'll put in, like if our headphones or
ask
anything.
your accountant. Okay. Because there is an element of all of this that the IRS needs to look at your company.
Especially if we're going to start selling merch.
So I was just going to say there has to be like a profitable aspect to your company. So if there isn't a profitable aspect to the podcast, then it wouldn't work. But if you're going to sell merch, or, I mean, you girls are going to be famous one day. You're going to be like, and you're going to have advertisers and all, you know what I mean?
Makeup in those days?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, because we've been really trying hard to, well, I shouldn't say trying hard. We've been thinking and talking about it a lot, but we haven't really made much of an action to like monetize this a little bit.
Yeah.
And I think merch is like a stepping stone to like ultimately like, you know, guides and, you know, that kind of thing. But it probably would, if we're bringing profit in from it, it probably would have to be legitimized and like,
oh, for sure,
you know, and we would probably have to have an LLC. Like,
we got to push Molly. We need more.
Maybe we need Jason to have maybe we should have Jason make us a Realtor Therapy LLC. That would not hurt.
Wait, you can make one yourself.
Oh, you could?
Oh, it's like $50 on the Secretary of State website.
Oh my gosh, see, that's like, I would never think to do that myself and make Jason.
Well, and then the other thing, I'm like, do we need to copyright this? I mean, again, this is probably not podcast.
Okay, well, there was another person at Minted Wealth, the conference that I was at. Her Instagram is the Lethal Lawyer, and that's what she does, copyright and trademark.
Dude, this was like the best networking.
I know, it was like, it was literally like, here, get all your shit together. What? Minted Wealth.
All right, so we need to copyright it.
Will you guys go with me next year?
Yeah.
You'll go again?
Oh, hell yeah.
That's how much you liked it.
Oh my God, yeah.
Yes, I'll go. Do they go anywhere else but Arizona? Like, do they have something?
Always in Arizona.
Well, I mean, that's not a bad time.
Let's go. I'm in.
Wouldn't that be really fun? Like a little 3-person vacation?
I know. Yeah.
This is how crazy my brain works because, like,
you're thinking about being pregnant, because that's what I'm thinking about.
I mean, yeah, that would
become pregnant. We need a DD.
That would be great. But no,
called Minted Wealth.
Yeah.
I literally
tickets are on sale already. It's in November.
Invite my CPA and be like, I want him to take all of this in too, because like I'm putting I am obviously
They can figure this shit out.
No,
I
it's
know,
funny you
but,
say
like,
that.
I do, because think about, okay, perfect example of like us being realtors in our day-to-day life, and what we do is what we do, and like we could get very routinal. There's a lot of things
Routinal?
that routine, whatever.
Yeah.
Very like just, and there's a lot of things about this business that like we aren't masters at. Like
Right.
there's a lot of things. And so same thing for like a CPA, like they could be the best at what they do on a day-to-day basis with a certain type of client, but maybe that's not
true.
us. So like
Right.
having,
That's
like
true.
I would literally pay for his ticket to just take that all in, because then he
No,
could take
he
his
could pay
brain.
for it.
You know what I mean? But then he could take his brain and like, I just think that like I would want a CPA there to just be like, okay, what is applicable
Maybe
to
There
me?
were-
maybe I'm
What is
gonna
this?
invite my CPA.
There were
Let's
a
have
lot
a
of
CPA.
CPAs, and I mean, you are way more loyal to him because you have a history. But my last accountant, when I started learning all of this, I was taking it all back to her and saying, okay, so we're going to do this, we're going to do that, and she was trying, she really was, to implement it.
How
But
old was she? I'm just curious.
I don't know the answer to that.
Not that I'm like an ageist
50s?
over
Yeah,
here.
I know.
No, she's young. She's young.
she
But I'm
was
also
young.
just
Okay.
terrible at guessing ages. Like as soon as I said that about Melissa, like, I mean, she's young, but not young. I'm 40. So she's like right around my age.
Okay, because I mean, mine is young too, but it's like a family business. So he has his dad, and then he's like the younger. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like,
Right.
Um,
But what I ended up saying was I really, really liked her, but I was like, I have my own job. I can't teach you. I can't go over here, learn the tax strategy, and then come back to you, who's the one that's supposed to be implementing it, but teach you how, like, you're a CPA.
Yeah.
I'm like literally laughing because I'm thinking to myself, God, what do we not know? Maybe I do need to go to a conference.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm like, what is it that I'm missing?
No,
I've been
we know
doing
everything.
this-
No.
I know everything. I mean, it just I love
think
to be a
what's-
sponge, and I actually love
Right.
to learn.
Same.
I love to
That's
learn.
why
So
I
do
like.
I.
That's why I love this stuff.
I love to learn too, and like that's what we have to realize about our personalities is like I think we do so well because we're willing to do that. Like there's probably a lot of agents that get so stuck in their routine they have no desire
It's so
Oh,
to
for
learn anything
sure.
new.
For
I was
sure.
listening to a podcast recently, a real estate podcast by a very popular person. I'm not going to shout out the name, but
The one that I listen to.
well, this.
Why can't you shout out the
Because
name?
because of what I'm about to say.
She's in
Okay.
touch.
The
with-
podcaster said, like, nobody should basically be in the PLS.
I know
ever.
exactly
I know.
who you're talking
Oh,
about.
I know exactly who you're talking about
and,
too.
Like, was so arrogantly confident about it, and I actually really like this realtor. I think he's
Yeah.
hilarious.
Yeah.
Whatever. But I was like, doesn't
Don't
know how to
agree.
use it the right way.
Right.
I was
Right.
like, that is the perfect example of someone so stuck in their ways and so inflexible by their arrogance.
Yes.
Because there is a time and a place that the PLN is so freaking perfect for, and there is moments in my career that I regret having a client not do it.
Right.
Yeah.
I just posted about this on Instagram yesterday. You should go read
Really?
my caption.
Okay.
Yeah. I said the PLN works when it is a strategic tool in your marketing plan.
Well, and you're not going to like price a property at 50 grand below market value
Right.
and throw it in the PLN.
No.
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 That's
It is
how it's
not a
worked.
one size shoe fits all at
No.
all.
No.
Mm-mm.
But I'm a huge fan. Huge fan.
Same.
Okay. Anyway, what are we missing from what you learned?
Oh my God, that's kind of a lot. But I think that this is enough that it scratches the surface for sure.
Yeah,
Okay,
like,
and
I
can
think
you
it'll
say to me,
fuel-
what's that lethal person again? And
Oh,
they specialize
the
in
lethal lawyer.
what? The lethal lawyer, we think. Okay.
Are you looking?
Yeah.
And
the
what
lethal
do they
lawyer.
specialize
Yeah,
in?
trademark lawyer.
Yeah, she's the trademark lawyer. She's awesome. What's her name? The lethal lawyer.
Yeah, we need
maybe
to
Kelly,
Yeah,
maybe
she
we need to
trademarks
reach
and
out
copyrights
let's
everything.
do it.
before we start our merch.
For sure.
Can I completely change tune here and just get your guys' opinion on a current thing I'm dealing with right now?
I mean, okay.
This is great. Now
Do we need? We're at.
who cares?
Oh,
Right?
Okay.
Come on.
Yeah, I mean, keep listening if you were curious.
Like I've said, Joe Rogan has the biggest podcast, and his average episode length is 3 hours.
Oh
when
my
you
gosh.
think about
I
people
know.
who don't like long form video,
I will tell you,
it's not true.
Kelly gave me like a legit lecture when we
Because-
started doing the podcast about me basically being completely unprofessional.
No, not
Like-
even. She
like
was
she
so
wanted
rushy,
me.
and like I felt like I truly feel like a good podcast is when the two people who are on there are truly engaging, not talking necessarily to the audience that's not there behind us. Like I want people to be listening to our
chat.
conversations, and Stephanie would be doing this. And I'm like, can you let
Shaking
me finish? Or,
uncontrollably.
like, and sometimes I'll have random thoughts, and she'd be like, "Okay, no one basically no one cares." And I'm sure there's a lot of people that
treated
don't.
it very
Yeah.
structured, and I thought it was like a professional, like,
And it, yeah,
okay, this is the topic we have to talk about. No, we have to have our questions organized. We have to, and I mean, obviously, I adapted her style, and I was like,
Right.
okay, you are right. I was wrong.
and maybe there's a lot of people that don't like the casual conversation, but I think that most of the people do.
This is more genuine and more us.
100%. That's what I was just gonna say. Anybody
Yeah.
that knows you
I was
too,
gonna say, do you
and
listen as a
listens,
listener? And
I
like,
do.
Is it
Yeah.
because I always want to know from somebody, like even like my girlfriends, but that my girlfriends don't really know a lot about real estate. They just listen because it's me.
Yep, my whole team listens to your podcast.
Oh my god, hearing
yeah.
that is
Very
like,
amazing. Oh
Yeah.
my God.
Like, and they'll bring it up. They'll be like, "Oh, on Kelly and Steph's podcast, like whatever," and I'm like, "Oh, I have to go listen to
oh my
it."
god, I
my
love
God, I
that.
feel famous.
So I
okay.
said you're gonna be famous.
Okay, so this is the current situation really quick. So as I was sitting in our meeting just now, I got a text from one of my like longtime clients. I've known her forever too. So like really strong relationship, yada yada. She's like, "Hey, I need to make a cash offer on this Frankfurt property for my brother who's going through a divorce. Can you write it up?" So I called her. And long story short, she was he's obviously trying to buy something. The whole divorce thing, we just talked about that on the
I
podcast.
just got a freaking call this morning about it.
I know.
I was just gonna say, don't put his name on it.
Well, no, exactly. And so they're trying to put it in first. It was like in one of his investment accounts or something, and the HOA was having an issue and whatever. So my client calls me. She's like, "I'm going to buy it cash. I'm sending you proof of funds. Put it under my name. Yada yada yada." I'm like, "Perfect." So I asked Stephanie. I'm like, because the agent's an ad agent. I'm like, I feel like I just want to. Oh, I asked you too.
Right.
To be transparent with her and tell her that like my client just called and said they were going to, So, but her brother has been working with a realtor. Don't know who this realtor is, but the realtor did show the brother the house. The realtor did write the offer with the investment name on it that got rejected by the HOA. So they have another realtor involved.
The other realtor wrote an offer?
Yes, but they denied it because it was this brother's investment company and it had to be, it couldn't work. Okay. And so that's all I knew at this point. So I call this agent and I'm like, "Hey, my client just called me. She wants to submit a cash offer for this condo. I have proof of funds. I have the offer written. Do you by chance, are you by chance going back and forth with a single guy right now going through a divorce and yada, yada?" She's like, "Yes, we are." She's like, "And the issue is not necessarily that she's like, the issue the HOA has is that it needs to be owner occupied. There are no rentals allowed here." So she was like, "So even if sister comes to the rescue and wants to buy this cash with her name on it, she's still not living here. So that still doesn't, solve the problem." And I was like, and I told her too, I was like, I didn't really know how to handle this. I'm like, this has never happened to me before. I was like, this isn't like she got my number from Zillow or something. Like I know her very well. I've known her probably since I've been 15 years old. I was like, but she did just ask me to write this offer. And I actually do have a valid buyer agreement with her too, because she just bought with me not even a year ago. And I appreciated, so that's why I had to pause this podcast to go and talk to the agent. And she appreciated that I was honest with her. And she's like, "I will say the other agent," she's like, "is there any way that you would like split like a commission with her or like a referral?" She's like, "She's lovely and she's been working her butt off trying to get this done for 2 weeks. So I feel really bad now. And I have to call my client now after we're done with the podcast and tell her it's not necessarily because my client was very broad with the reasoning as to why it wasn't working. She's like, "I hate the realtor that he hired and something's going on with the HOA and they have an issue with it being an investment."
I wonder why your client doesn't like that realtor.
I don't know. She's like, "So I told my brother, I will buy it for you cash, but we're using my girl." That was what she told me on the phone. So that's where I'm like, I didn't even show it. So it's not like I have this, like, I don't know what to do.
Do you want my opinion or do you want to tell her?
I'll give my opinion, but go ahead.
I think that before you even start talking about commission with anyone, you need to find out whether or not the brother can go on title. Because if he can't go on title, then this is all a moot point and it doesn't even matter. So regardless if you're going to go offer the commission or dig your heels in on not offering the commission, commission, you need to talk to the divorce attorney.
He cannot go on title, but she said that she is so, like, it sounds like a pretty bad situation. She's like, he can live in my condo then and I'll live there for a year.
Okay.
So it's like, you know,
all right.
it's just the other realtor being involved. And I feel like that the listing agent has obviously empathy towards her too. So it's like, I don't know if she's going to call that other realtor.
Do you know who it is?
The other realtor? Yeah. No, I didn't ask.
I always feel like
I should have.
no, sometimes I want
curious cats. I would have been like, who is it?
I didn't even think to ask because again, that's not really, what would that matter?
It just matters to me. Maybe I like
Stephanie as a hit list.
Right. I was going to say the same thing because if it was certain names, I'd be like, no commission.
If it was a friend of mine, I'd be like, oh, yeah, absolutely.
Right.
But even
or if it was somebody that burned you on a deal,
I'd
you'd
be
be like, nope,
yeah,
payback's a bitch.
That's exactly correct.
My thing is like, I mean, yeah, if it was someone who burned me, like I have a very short, like, betrayal list for
Honestly,
realtors. I kind of feel bad for the other realtor. I think
know,
I would give them a referral.
I think a 25% referral is completely.
I'd be so pissed if I were that realtor and this happened and someone came and was like, "Oh, I haven't showed it yet, but don't worry, honey, I'm going to give you a 25% referral." Like that.
I mean, I think I would be too
part of it.
You know what I mean? No. Well, that part. What do you mean? I mean, I'm just coming in. It's with his sister.
You could be a real, you know what, and
say no.
I mean, if you want to split it, by all means. But I'm saying like,
oh, I don't have to technically give anything because I am in all legal and right bounds with my situation. Like I really, it would be, and I said this to the agent because I could tell. I could tell that she was getting a little bit of like, no, this realtor deserves something. I'm
They're
like,
friends.
Hey, look.
They're friends.
Well, I go, hey, look, legally speaking, I really don't have to give anything. I have a buyer agreement with my client. I have proof of funds. I have a, offer and she is going to be owner occupied. There's nothing that is gray about my situation and my client. I go, if I wasn't transparent with you on this phone call, you wouldn't even known that my client has a relationship to this other party. So technically I don't, but out of good faith, I would give a 25% referral is what I told the agent. And she's like, okay, good.
That's what I think.
Yeah.
But I just wanted to get your guys' input on it because I've never been in a situation like this. But I'm going to call my client now and just be
and
like.
The only reason is because, and ask if your client called you and said they felt super bad for that other agent or you know what I mean? Like
I'm going to ask why she
doesn't. The
doesn't.
fact that your client/friend said that gives me pause. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Well, the agent kind of let me in on a little bit on her side. She was like, I've been talking to this agent, she's been working her butt off trying to get this done. And the clients are not understanding that it needs to be owner occupied. And clearly they're not really because she didn't mention that part to me when she had me write this offer. She kind of just threw that in when I told her that was an issue.
I know, but some of this falls in the, like I guarantee you after you explain it to your client,
she already did. She already did because she says she'll live there and that the brother will live somebody else.
So that's what I'm saying. So like I think some of this fault does fall on that realtor because if somebody's not understanding something,
it's the person that's in charge.
Yes, because I mean again, maybe she's only sending paragraph long text messages that are confusing or you know how I am about picking up a phone, but
right. Okay.
Anyway.
All right, perfect.
I think you did the right thing.
You did do the right thing. I think so too. And
yeah, like I didn't have to, but I also didn't feel right splitting it down the middle. And I said to this agent too,
I would have done. Closing wouldn't be happen regardless if you weren't involved.
If I didn't step in.
That's what I'm
saying.
And
my
so
thing,
25% is better than nothing.
Right.
What you would have gotten.
Right. And my thing is this client of mine, it's not like, oh, I haven't talked to her in a year and because I'm sure people listening to that, like, you didn't even show it or put work in. She has been wanting to buy something investment property wise. So like there's been plenty of showings and plenty of time spent in with her to where like I'm going to deserve whatever she does end up buying, like, being work and paycheck wise. But it's just I just didn't specifically show this one.
And I mean, we get burned so
that's what I was going to say. Like,
sometimes we
don't know
we deserve
who it is,
a couple
but
slam dunks because of how much we
terrible, torturous.
We have our
and maybe this other agent only showed him this one property.
Right. And again, I don't even like to even talk about that part because I truly don't. I think that's irrelevant to our job in the sense of like, well, how many properties did you show to get, to get to the closing table? It's like that doesn't matter.
Right. Okay. We still it's after contract to close that is where we have our value.
Totally, 100%.
Negotiating the offer and contract to close is where you see the value the most.
Yep. All right, guys.
Guys, that was a really good.
Yeah, that was good.
Thanks for having me.
Of course.
This was so fun.
Yeah. Yes, thanks, Lauren. You're the best.
God.
I know our headphones. All right, guys. Thanks for tuning in.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Until next time. Ciao, ciao.
Bye.
That's a wrap on Realtor Therapy with Stef and Kel.
If you loved what you heard, subscribe, leave a review, and follow us on social media.
Got a wild real estate story or a topic idea?
Drop it anonymously in the form in our show notes. We'd love to hear from you.
Until next time, keep hustling, stay sane, and remember,
we're all in this together.